Where does illness come from? The Buddha shares 5 causes and solutions. In life, whether rich or poor, everyone must face certain physical and mental sufferings. There are those who, despite having all the material wealth in the world, still feel empty and exhausted, as if their lives are gradually losing meaning. An ancient story tells of a wealthy man who, after years of indulging in luxury, finally realized that he was sinking into fatigue and pain, not only in body but also in spirit. Seeking enlightenment, he turned to the Buddha, where he learned valuable lessons about how to nourish both the body and the mind. The story begins here. One day, while the Buddha was sitting and talking with his disciples at a monastery in the city of Savatthi, an ancient city in India, a peculiar guest suddenly appeared. From his clothing and jewelry, it was clear that he was a very wealthy man. However, he did not seem happy. On the contrary, both his expression and voice exuded fatigue and weariness. With his hands clasped together, the man respectfully said, "Dear Buddha, having learned that you were here, I have come to greet you. Please forgive me for not being able to bow to you as is customary, as I would have wished, because my body feels so heavy. There is no part of my body that is not in pain or exhaustion, and every step I take is a struggle." Seeing the man in pain before him, the Buddha immediately asked, "Would you like to know the cause of your illness?" The man was stunned, not expecting the first words from the Buddha to be such a question. When he had planned to come and see the Buddha, his intention was merely to express his admiration for him. And if possible, he hoped the Buddha would enlighten his mind, freeing him from the ignorance and stagnation that were making him feel increasingly tired and disillusioned, causing him to lose meaning in his life. Therefore, when the Buddha unexpectedly asked this question, the man gladly agreed to know. There are 5 causes of the discomfort and pain you are enduring. First, you eat too much at dinner. Second, you sleep too much. Third, you lead a life of indulgence. Fourth, you are careless about everything. And fifth, you are lazy, the Buddha said sternly. The man was startled upon hearing the Buddha's words. How does the Buddha, living so far away, know my life so well, he thought. As a wealthy man, he had enjoyed all the delicacies the world had to offer, and there was nothing he had not tasted. Every time he ate, he made sure to indulge to his heart's content. Moreover, he frequently partied through the night, indulging in drinking and merrymaking. When he was tired from playing, he slept, and when he was bored with sleeping, he played again. His life was a continuous cycle of vague, blurry days, often not even distinguishing between day and night, sobriety and drunkenness. And of course, being as rich as he was, why should he work? Work was only for the poor, after all. So what should I do to escape this suffering? Dear Buddha, the man sincerely asked the Buddha. The Buddha calmly replied, you must learn to control yourself in eating and drinking. Furthermore, find some work where you can apply your abilities and become a person useful to society. If you do this, your illness will naturally decrease, and you will live a longer life. Hearing these words, the man suddenly felt awakened. He intended to ask more questions, but the Buddha advised him that there were many things waiting for him at home, and that he should go home and do exactly as instructed. Some time later, the wealthy man returned to meet the Buddha. If he hadn't introduced himself, no one would have recognized him. Instead of the overweight figure who had difficulty walking before, he had now become light-footed and agile, with a much healthier complexion and demeanor. Most notably, this time he walked to meet the Buddha on his own, without needing a horse-drawn carriage or servants like the last time. As soon as he arrived, the man knelt down before the Buddha with the utmost sincerity and respect. Emotionally, he spoke, "Dear Buddha, you have cured me of many physical ailments. And now I come to you, asking for your wisdom to enlighten my mind. Ordinary people only know how to nourish the body, but the wise know how to also nourish the soul. If you only seek to satisfy your taste, you are destroying yourself. By following the Buddha's teachings, you will learn how to protect yourself from harm and live a long life," the Buddha advised the man. Through this story, we learn that material wealth cannot compensate for a soul lacking peace or a body harmed by unhealthy living. The Buddha showed that only by practicing self-control, living moderately, and having purpose can one escape their suffering. Not only must we nourish our bodies, but we must also nurture our souls through meaningful actions and following the path of mindfulness. The Buddha's teachings encourage us to lead a balanced life, protecting ourselves from harmful habits and seeking enlightenment from within. Only then can true peace and happiness be achieved.